Hey everybody, Marcus C. Williams here, and I want to talk to you a minute about the vicious and terrible attack that's going on the First Amendment and how they're trying to tear it to shreds. As we know, the First Amendment protects your freedom of religion and your freedom to practice it the way that you feel, the way that you see fit. It also protects your freedom of speech, the freedom of press, and your freedom to peaceably assemble, as well as your right to petition the government to redress any grievances that you have. And all of that is being stripped away from you slowly. And it's not good. And we need to wake up and we need to stand up. So let's take 2 seconds and talk about freedom of the press. Okay? The other day, Democrats sent letters to all of the cable networks and all of the internet service providers saying, do you carry these media networks? Do you carry these news networks? Do you carry OAN? Do you carry Fox News? Do you carry these other various things? And if so, why? Basically trying to back them into a corner like, listen, if you don't do what we want to do, we're going to censor you or shut you down or hurt your bottom line. Because the bottom line is that it was a power move. That was to say, if you do not toe the line, we're going to impact your bottom line. And that's not okay, because that's limiting freedom of the press. That means that people aren't able to report what they want, what they feel, and the way that they believe that it should be reported. That's a problem. And I understand that not everybody agrees with those specific news outlets, but understand that that is an extreme manipulation by our government, which goes against our Constitution, which is extreme government overreach, which is not okay. So no matter how you feel about them, you need to make sure that you redress that with your government, because they are overreaching and they are wrong. Wrong. Okay? Then you look at freedom of speech and big tech. They'll deplatform a sitting president because they don't like what he's saying, because it might hurt them in the end, because, big tech is big business. And if you hurt their bottom line, it's a problem. You can't talk about anything that they don't want you to say. It'll be a problem. They'll shut you down. I mean, hell, they shut down President Trump while he was the president of the United States, like it was okay. You're not the president. Y'all probably aren't even any elected officials like that. So imagine what they would do to you if they would do that to the President of the United States. And here's the deal. You might agree with them today, but you might disagree with them tomorrow. Because you can agree with some of the people some of the time, but not all of the people all of the time. Same way you're not able to please them. This is the way that things are working in our society right now, in the United States of America. And it's not okay. It's not okay at all. And we need to understand that we have to do something about it ASAP, and we need to petition the government so that we can redress our grievances. But wait, they're trying to take that away from you too. You see how they locked down the Capitol? They just locked down the Capitol with all types of military personnel, all types of gates and walls and barriers, so you cannot enter the people's house, even though legally you were supposed to be able to enter the Capitol building at any given time because it's the people's house. But they don't want you there. Why? Here's the big question. Even if they thought that there was going to be an issue, that level of protection and that level of military personnel there is very, very, very concerning, because the question is, why do they need that many? Are they expecting an attack? Who is coming to attack them? Why would people come to attack them? Are they in there doing some unscrupulous things that we would not agree with as citizens? Yes, they are. They're doing many unscrupulous things, and most notably, getting rid of the First Amendment. They're coming for the Second Amendment and Third Amendment and the rest of them too, but we're not going to talk about those. We're only talking about the first right now. So, we've got to talk about the freedom of religion. Your right to practice it the way that you see fit. You see what's happened in New York and California. They shut down churches, but bars and liquor stores can be open in a lot of instances. First of all, what the hell does a liquor store need to be open for if you're trying to say that people shouldn't get sick? Liquor is not good for your blood. Liquor is not good for your health. Why is it open? I understand that everybody likes liquor. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking a pool on liquor. That's what's up, if that's your thing. Okay, but the fact of the matter is that liquor stores are more important than religious facilities. Okay, in a serious crisis, you need your religion more than ever. Whenever there's a crisis, people turn towards God. They turn towards the Lord. They turn towards, I don't know, whoever, whoever or whatever they believe in. Okay? That's the way the history of the world and how people work goes. But you shut down churches, preventing people from going to church and worshiping the way that they are supposed to be able to and the way that they see fit. You limit the number of people that are able to gather in certain places. I mean, it's really, really, really serious. Okay? And that takes me into the next issue. The right to peaceably assemble. They want you to inform on your neighbor for how many people they have at Thanksgiving. They want you to inform on your parents for how many people they have over. That's not legal. Are they peaceably assembling? Yes. Then it's okay. This is the problem that we are experiencing in our society, and we see in the media more and more. It's okay to do these things. It's okay to deplatform people. It's okay to inform on your neighbors. It's okay to shut down newspapers and people who want to say other things that we don't like just because we said it's okay. It's not okay. We have the Constitution for a reason. It's supposed to be guidelines that are the way that our nation is supposed to operate. But they are completely putting them to the side and acting like they never existed. But they do exist. This is America. We are formed on our founding documents and the Constitution. Like, this is the First Amendment, people. Just the first one. Number one, the first one that they wrote is all the way at the top. The thing's like this long. And a couple of pages, too. It's the one at the top. If we don't address this now, or as I should say, petition and redress this with our government, it's going to be too late. They're going to keep chipping away at everything. The communists and the socialists can get on the internet and preach about whatever they want. They can go out and they can march and tear shit up and set stuff on fire, okay? But you can't go to a religious ceremony. You can't go to church. You can't speak your mind on the internet because they will shut you down. Now understand, this is not Nazi Germany. This is not communist China. But every day it's looking more and more like communist China. And the worst thing is that communist China is pushing for it to look like communist China. Come on now. They're pervading our country with all types of nonsense on the internet, pushing all this socialism and communist idealism in not only just the internet, the media, and in our institutions of educational pursuits. It's ridiculous, and the government is letting them do it because most of them are being paid off by them. And it's not just paid off, they're also being offered different types of bribes and sexual favors, like Stillwell, which we're not even going to talk about him, that's another video. And we've got people that are being blackmailed by them as well, and all types of stuff. So China is a serious issue, but they can say what they want on the internet. China will be like, we're not committing genocide. Ask the Uyghurs, or however you pronounce them, the Muslims that they have in northern China. Ask them. They're out there forced sterilization of them. They're out there doing terrible, horrible, just unthinkable things to their women and men out there, and they're calling it just re-education. But also, some liberals made jokes saying that they should re-educate the children of conservatives and Trump believers. Can you believe that nonsense? They want to re-educate the American population. This is not okay, people. We've got to wake up and call it for what it is. This is about some bullshit. Okay? And then the question is, but cause why? But cause why? Why would they do that? Because it's about power and control. And as we see this tendency towards socialism and communism, we have to understand that socialism and communism are really totalitarian and fascist pursuits. Wherever they have ever been implemented, you see totalitarian fascism, where the government controls all means of production and they set all the laws and they generally shit on the people in the nation. And there's a ruling class, but most of the people get, well, ass. And not the good kind either. So, we've got these things going on in our nation, and it's not okay. It's really, really not okay. And it's time that we unite and we stand up for our neighbors that we may disagree with sometimes with, for the people down the road that we don't necessarily care for that much, for our brothers or sisters that we love, but we can agree to disagree on. But as they strip away our First Amendment rights, freedom of religion and the practice thereof, freedom of speech and freedom of the press, freedom to peaceably assemble, and freedom to petition the government to redress your grievances. We need to be understanding that that's just the First Amendment of many. They'll come for the other ones if we don't stand up now. And they're already working on getting rid of the Second Amendment, and they're already working on the Third Amendment. I mean, just look at it. We're half at a state of war already. They're trying to put together a 9/11 commission that's extremely biased and stacked one-sided for the Democrats so that they can implement all types of other things that are going to be terrible for our population. Remember, the last 9/11 commission gave us a Patriot Act, which stripped away rights and freedoms and liberties, gave us the Real ID Act and all types of nonsense. Okay? Pay attention, people. We've got to get it together now. We've got to put a stop to this. Write your senators, write your representatives, write your local officials, write everybody, y'all. Okay? Write your county legislature, write your state assembly. Let them know that this is a serious issue and we will not stand for them taking away any of our rights, and more or less the First Amendment, which is one of many in the Constitution that America is based on. It's just so concerning, and I know a lot of you guys out there are disheartened and you feel down and you feel downtrodden. Please stand up. Don't feel down. People out there hear you. I hear you. I share your pain. I understand the direction our nation is going in is not positive for us, for our future, or for the future generations that come hereafter. They won't even know what rights and liberties and freedoms they have lost, as we do not know as many as the generation before us. And we must put an end to this terrible cycle that has begun before it gets off the ground. Because if we don't stop it here, we're at 1 right now. They're going for 2 and 3. Understand, once these are gone, we will not be able to get them back. Please, people, understand that there are others out there that believe the way that you do, that America is not going in the right direction. I understand that you are patriotic and that you care about our nation. Stand up, speak up, and never shut up. God bless you. God bless America. Be safe and be well.